Hello and welcome to 8-Track Mind with Habaka. Today I am so excited because I am going to be interviewing the one and only Scott Land. He is a master marionettist, and I'm telling you, you are going to find out some wonderful information. It's very intriguing. He intrigued me so much when I met him in Bakersfield. Was it Bakersfield?
It was.
Yes.
We were starring in a show in Bakersfield, two of us. The great Mondre and me.
And you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the moment that I saw your show, I was just taking, I mean, I've seen marionettes before and puppetry, but not ever like that.
Yeah, sadly it's a dying art form. There's very few people that actually concentrate on it, so there's so few of us doing it. So when people see it live, it's very rare.
Yes.
And I started doing marionettes when I was a kid.
Oh, what age?
I started at age of 12.
Okay.
I saw my first marionette show when I was 10, and that inspired me to do that type of work. So I checked out library books. It all started from there.
It all started from there. And so, while you were doing this, was that in your mind at age 12? You said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Well, you never really know. I never thought of it as anything other than fun. And then when you start to make a living doing it, then you start to realize, this actually works. I went to school at UCLA and I studied psychology. That was my major.
Wow.
And the puppets paid for the education there. So.
Incredible, incredible, incredible. So now, what is the first marionette you ever constructed?
I'll show you. It's in the office, actually. The very first one was a vampire that I made. And that first show that I performed, I was age 12, and it was at a kid's party, and it would fly over the audience and it would try to bite the girl.
No.
But it had blinking eyes, and that was very sophisticated for me at the age of 12, so yeah.
I can imagine, I can imagine. Are your puppets, are they made from wood, or is it some other type of material?
Yeah, sometimes I'll carve certain parts on the puppets out of wood, but then what I do is I make a mold of that piece, and then I can recast it over and over again. We make it out of material called polyurethane.
Okay.
And so the puppets are essentially body parts made out of plastic.
Oh, okay.
And all the heads have to be hollowed for the animation because we do moving parts.
Oh, okay, okay. And how do you actually come up with the mold for making the character that you're making? Are you the one that actually designs everything?
Yeah, I'll sculpt the head out of clay, and then I create a wall around it, and then I fill it with a material that's called urethane, or I'm sorry, it's silicone. And it creates a rubber mold, and then I cut the mold open, take the clay out, and then I put the mold back together, and then I pour the urethane into it, the plastic.
Okay.
And it swirls around inside, and as it dries, it makes a shell. And then that makes all the heads hollow, so that we can then do the animation, the moving eyes and the mouth, eyebrows.
Wow, that's amazing. So you are really a master at your art. And now, do you sell also your marionettes to different people?
Yeah, we find that there are collectors around the world, and some people want to have marionettes. Sometimes they want rod puppets, or they'll want a ventriloquist figure. We make those as well.
Oh, okay.
So we have people that actually buy those from us as well.
Have you ever done ventriloquist?
I'm not a ventriloquist myself, but I've made it for other people. But it's kind of like that. You can do it. Just sit in front of a mirror. Hey, how you doing? See, like that. See, don't go B or P. Don't do B.
Don't do P's. Well, you know what? That's also in the world of singing. It's the P's and the B's. You know, you have to turn your lips in and press so you don't get that popping. Exactly.
Yeah.
Your wife
Yes, Lisa.
Lisa. What does she do that helps you out?
When we first met, she showed me some of her artwork, and I realized, oh, wow, she's an amazing painter.
Oh.
So what I will do is I'll sculpt the character, and I'll get the animation, the face, and everything moving, and then I give it to her, and then she does all the painting. So she does all the finishing work. And then what I also discovered was she's so good at handling the clients that I let her handle the bookings.
Of
course, she books the clients, and
well, as women, we are just fantastic at multitasking and doing that. Yeah. Men hate that kind of stuff, So
that's good.
She gives you the freedom to do what you need to do and concentrate, and she handles. Well, I tell you what, her painting on the marionettes is just incredible. It's just absolutely amazing, and you will get to see Scott demonstrate with his marionette. So now, what makes for a great marionette puppet?
The first thing you want to have is a character that actually is pretty strong, iconic, something that people would recognize right away when it comes out. As an example, it could be Elvis Presley, it could be James Brown. It could be somebody that has a strong character that people can identify with. And then when I sculpt it, I think of the character as a three-dimensional cartoon, so I have to do a strong caricature of it so that it expresses to the audience. And then I have to choose on that character animation that's going to be particular for the character. For example, if it's James Brown, I would sculpt it so that his eyes are kind of squinting already.
Oh, okay.
And then the mouth can open really big because he does this with the microphone. And then if we want to go for a comedy gag, it could go into his mouth and then it gets stuck.
Okay.
So you figure out all the gags and the plans before you actually start to build, so that you get the ideas. Generally, I'll find the music first, so that helps strengthen the character as well. And then once it's finished, once the character is done, I will practice in front of a mirror with the puppet for literally hundreds of hours till it finally starts to flow from me. And then the puppet will tell you what it can do, because they can't do everything. They can only do specific things.
Really?
Yeah.
So after a while, they tell you what they can do and what they can't do. And so you actually, that's pretty much also as a vocalist, learning material and interpretation of a song and that sort of thing. You literally, even if you're doing a cover song, you literally listen to that song like 100 or more times, so that it's like, well, take for instance, sleeping with the music, listening to it, and all night long you're just singing that darn song, forever. So I'm sure you get that same type of effect, similar where you're thinking all night through your dream process, how it's going to be, how he's going to be moving, and how, or she, I noticed one of your characters that I really loved. Well, I loved them all when I saw your show. But the one that I was really impressed with was the female.
Oh, Fatima.
Fatima! Oh my God, guys, you have got to see Fatima. And I don't know how you're going to see her, but you're going to have to catch one of his shows somewhere in the world, because he's world renowned, and Fatima is fantastic. I would love to have her around.
When we created her, I sculpted, and we'll show you the marionette.
Yes, we'll show you.
But I sculpted it after Angelina Jolie.
Oh, okay.
It's her face, and then the body is Beyonce's body, basically.
Incredible. Now you see how that came about? He has someone's face with another person's body. So the secret is out. But you must see Fatima. She is really something special. She really is something special. So now, Scott, I want to know. Oh, this is a touchy subject, because Now, I heard that you were in an accident.
Yes. I had made a marionette of the Dalai Lama, and the Dalai Lama had me become his opening act for when he would go and do presentations. So I did that one weekend up in San Francisco many years ago. Then he invited me to go to Tibet, and while I was in Tibet, we would go into villages and perform marionettes there. Anyways, the driver drove us off a cliff by accident. And my left arm was ripped out of the socket. And,
my God.
I was in Hong Kong for a month and a half in their hospital there.
Wow.
So I was lucky to get out alive.
Yes, yes, that was such a blessing. And how long ago was that?
That was 8-9 years ago.
Wow, wow. Those, and I bet, you know, I'm sure that those type of experiences also enhanced,
Yes.
if I could say,
Yes.
enhanced your craft as well.
Yeah, it makes you very much aware of what other people go through, because you'll find similar people that have gone through similar accidents, life-changing or life-altering experiences.
Has anyone ever, like, while you were coming up, growing up, into this, thought that you were weird or teased you?
Oh, sure.
Or that's what I want to know about too. I want to know that, did anyone ever tease you and try to discourage you, and how were you able to maintain your belief in what you knew you wanted to do?
It's kind of like clowning or juggling or magic, and you know, all of these are called the allied arts. And in the allied arts today, the world has changed, where everything is digital. So people look at it as bizarre, and it's not of any great interest. Well, it was something that drew me in when I was a kid, was clowning. And so I've always been an oddball, you know, the one that's doesn't fit in. So after a while, either they will accept you or not. But my parents were always very supportive.
Sure, there are other masters who do marionettes. Now, the question I'm trying to get out here is, when you when a person gets into this business, or they decide they want to be a marionettist, a puppeteer, do they have to also know how to make their own puppets, or can they just purchase them from someone like you, who's a master?
You know, it kind of happens both ways, because it's so labor intensive for people to build them. It's hard to find someone that is actually going to dedicate time to doing it. So they'll buy the character from me. We sell one that's popular. It's a balloon clown.
Okay.
And we sell that one. It's a popular piece that we do in our show, and then other people have now bought them and collected them.
And how much is that clown?
They run about $2,500.
Okay, about $2,500. And so what's the most expensive one? Or they're all the same?
Well, the balloon clown, that's the rate for that one. But we'll have a vent figure with a lot of movement and articulation. They'll go for close to $10,000 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it basically, if you're a puppeteer that does it as a profession, it lasts like
forever.
Musical instruments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. That's great, and it's a very it's labor intensive. It's a very detailed, a lot of work.
In fact, we have one person that basically took his ventriloquist figure, puts it in a box, travels with it, and he will buy a seat for it.
Wow.
So it'll be sitting next to him.
Yes.
So he won't ever have to check it. He's afraid something will happen.
That something will happen to it. That is awesome. So, in closing, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to do an interview with you, and it just was so nice to even know you. And when I met you, you were just so friendly, and I love your DVD.
Oh, thank you.
And which we'll be giving you the information on where you can purchase Scott Land's DVD for marionettes if you are looking to learn about how to put them together and the work that is involved. He will be giving you that.
Yeah, that was made through the Stan Winston School, which is online, stanwinston.com, and you can buy the DVD there. But it's basically a full 2 days of video showing how the puppets are designed and built and how you can manipulate them. So we're quite proud of that.
Wonderful. Yeah. So do you also do master classes?
Yes, we do. We also teach classes.
And do you have that online where they can see the schedule, or how would they go about setting up a master class?
Yeah, we do it 3 to 4 times a year, and Lisa will handle the bookings, but you can always find us on Facebook, of course, which is Scott Land, and then of course Lisa Land is there also. Yeah.
Wonderful. And your next upcoming shows?
They're going to be in January. We're going to be in New York City with basically a fundraiser in New York City with what's his name? The comedian Gilbert Gottfried. That's it. Gilbert Gottfried.
Okay. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. And I guess now I'm going to ask you if you can demonstrate one of your favorites marionettes. Now, would I call him just marionette or a puppet? Well, puppet is...
There's 4 types of puppets: hand, rod, string, and shadow.
Okay.
And he's a string puppet. So another name for a string puppet is a marionette.
The marionette. I just love him, and he looks so real. Hello. Hi. His eyebrows move and everything. I don't know if you can see that.
He sings, this is Luciano Pepperoni, and he sings an opera.
Yes, and he looks just like someone I know. Oh, hello there. And now the clothing and all of that, the hair.
Yes.
Who does that?
The clothing on this one I did.
Wow.
And the hair is just a little wig that I created and put it on the head itself. And then there's a trap door inside so I can get inside and do all the animation.
Okay.
So there's the lower mouth.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the upper.
Wow.
And then, as you said, the eyebrows go.
For that expression that he actually makes in singing. And I tell you, once again, I'm going to say it again, if you are ever in the area where Scott Land is performing, make sure you catch his show, bring your kids. I mean, it's just fantastic. He is wonderful. He is a master marionettist, puppeteer, and I just want to say thank you again,
thank you,
Scott. It's been great. The very last thing I'm going to ask is, what would you suggest a young, upcoming marionettist to further their education, to help them, give them a tip that would, a nugget.
Sure.
A Scott Land nugget.
I think that everyone should, if you can, follow your dream of what you think is important to you. And always fly under the radar so that you can do your thing and still be successful. And also realize that people will always judge you, and it's okay. It doesn't affect you at all. Just do what you like to do and keep moving ahead. Always keep moving.
Well, you've heard it from Scott Land, everyone. That was excellent advice. And you have been tuned in to 8-Track Mind with Habaka. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.
8-Track.